Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and our Cheltenham Festival ante-post review show. So this is more or less the last kind of ante-post. We're not giving a tip this time. We're giving a look back on our selections heading into Cheltenham. Since we've said ever since the Dublin Race Festival was over, there's no really point giving out more because we just giving it for the sake of it. But we will be doing a handicaps video the second the weights are out. We'll give a few days to go through it, and we will have one of them as well before our Cheltenham Festival preview show, which is on the 26th, 7:30 on Facebook and on here on YouTube. So if you watched the last video, Tom is sick today, so we'll be nice and leave Tom's selections alone because we just call every single one of them yaks.
Yeah, I don't. To be fair, I don't think it's fair when he's not here to go through.
No, because he'll kill us. Yeah,
we'll do that another day.
So, Dave, we start with you. So,
okay.
This is no in particular order that Dave put them up, so we're just going to throw out the random ones. We start with the most recent one that ran. So we go Mellon, Ryanair Chase. How are you finding this one now?
Yeah, look, I was pretty sure. Even if he went close on the weekend, I don't think they would have ran him against Albon Photo in the Gold Cup. An extra 2 furlongs as well. He hardly needs that. So I do think he stays 3 miles, but there'd be stronger stayers than him. I think if they go back to the tactics they used at Christmas and last year in the Marsh Chase, I think he'll go close. He's a unreal jumper of a fence. He's very keen going sort. He's 2 mile 5. He stays 3 miles. So make use of him and hope for the best. It's going to be a hard race. But Min is getting older. He's probably a worthy favourite. Willie has a few horses there. Allaho as well. Imperial Aura is high up in the betting, but
he's one of the horses where you won't begrudge him a win at Cheltenham.
No, and you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if he came second again for the 5th year run.
Poor bastard.
But look, I think he's a good price, and he's still an each way price as well. So,
right, we move on to Embitter. I think you put him up at 16-1 to win any race. That's looking a shrewd little move now.
Yeah, I still don't know what race he might go for. Will they step him up and trip a little bit, and all to do with handicap marks? But I'm positive he's going to go for a handicap.
Farmer's working out well. He's behind the right horses and his mark is in the right place.
Yeah, hasn't won a race yet, so you know what I mean? They can't really be hitting him hard with a high mark. He's running well here. Then another day he might not run well, but I think he'll be prime for Cheltenham. I'd like to see him in the Grand Annual.
One of the most interesting ones you put up was Benny the Jew for the Mayor's Chase. Prior to last week, it was probably looking more than likely she was going to go to Chase with Honeysuckle taking on Constantisa. Well, now Honeysuckle has kind of been rerouted to the champion hurdle. Surely Willie will keep the two of them apart still.
Look, there's people still saying that Benny will go for the Mayor's hurdle. I personally can't see it. For years, going back to Quevega, he's run horses that in races that he thinks they have the best chance of winning. Doesn't have to be like a grade 1 over a grade 2. Mm-hmm. For 6 years running, he was questioned all the time. What way are you training Quevega? We haven't seen her. She comes out of Cheltenham, wins a grade 2 race, wins a grade 1 at Punchestown, gets put away for the next season. He's a master with mares. They're very hard to keep on a straight and narrow for a whole season to keep him going. Apples Jade's just a perfect example of that. Won a couple of races prior to Christmas. Soon as the season's changed, didn't want to have anything to do with winning races. Put her back in our box. She come back out next year, win the same races. Same thing had happened again. So Willie is like being a master at how to train mares. You don't see his best mares very often. He won't run them very often. I can't understand why he would run 2 horses in the same race when he has the best chance in those 2 separate races to win them. I know he's a few other horses in the Mayor's Chase, but Benny's way better than all of those. Everybody knows that. She's a grade 1 caliber horse against Geldens. A lot of them, they wouldn't run close to that level.
And that's the magic words you said there. The best chance of winning. William Mullins doesn't care what anyone thinks. He's going to run his horse in the race where he thinks is the best chance of winning. Prime example, Vautour, when he won the Ryanair, everyone's screaming and shouting, why is he not running the Gold Cup? Is he a better chance of winning the Ryanair on all the work he was doing? So it's...
The same goes with we haven't seen her. We need to see her jump. You didn't see Quevega from one end of the year to the next. She came out, jumped the hurdles. And the key to Benny, and the reason I put her up and backed her at good prices, was she was specifically bought to go over fences. Vroom Vroom Mar got injured, and they rerouted her to the Mayor's Hurdle because they had no other horse for it.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually bought to be a Ryanair horse. I understand fences are a little bit harder and it's more dangerous jumping. There's all that kind of thing, but you know what I mean? He can win 2 races. She's going against mares. And I didn't know when I put this up, but she's going to be getting weight from those mares as well. There's not a chance she wouldn't win.
If she turns up, she wins, and I reckon she wins easy. People say, as you said, we haven't seen her. But if you take her last year, her best performance was in the Galmoy Hurdle, first time up, where she absolutely blissed the field over 3 miles.
Yeah.
So look, I won't be worried in the slight. She turns up, I've backed her at decent prices on the back of what you said. So we're probably talking because we're on her, but realistically, she turns up, she wins. So your next one, Fakir Dudari for the Ryanair.
I honestly don't know what to make of this horse. He ran badly. His price went back out the way. His price has probably gone back in the way again now. I still think he needs a step up and trip. I think he'd run better to Ryanair, but look, I don't know. He's been to 3 festivals. 2. He's been to 2 festivals and he's ran at Cheltenham 3 times. He was first in a hurdle race, Cheltenham. Then he was 4th in the Supreme Novice as a 4-year-old when they decided not to run the Triumph, and 2nd in an Arkle. He's strong Cheltenham form, but from one day to the next, you don't know what horse is going to turn up. So it would have. I said last week it wouldn't surprise me if he came 2nd to Shakan and bet all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Same goes. It wouldn't surprise me if he placed at I put him up at 33s. I think he placed at a good price, and it also wouldn't surprise me if he was pulled up.
Yeah, he's a hard horse to bloody get a grasp of these days. I think he's tripless. I don't know what his best trip is at. It's probably 2 miles on the back of last weekend and the Arkle. Probably 2 miles is a trip, but you probably got to make use of him, bowl him out in front and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Right. Next one is Davar Star for the Arkle. Looks like
not a hope.
Not a hope. I reckon he needs to step up and trip big time.
The horses are not in form either. So, but he has no hope.
That's the end of that one. Easy Work, not with us anymore.
I was one of my favourite picks all year. It's just a shame. I think it's a really good. He was a really good horse.
He was an interesting one, especially at the price you put up 20s. He would have definitely fought out a finish for place money, at least behind Monkfish. One is this next one, Andy Dufresne, 12 to 1 any race. Very good run the weekend. Looked like he blew up a bit. The question is, will they bring him to Cheltenham? They avoided it last year.
Another one, I wouldn't be surprised sidestep Cheltenham and goes for that Powers Gold Cup. So it's not a bad price. And he'd probably run into a place in whatever race he goes for. But it wouldn't surprise me if they skip Cheltenham again.
Yeah. The notorious Gonshin. 6 to 1 champion Earl.
I just don't know what to say about this horse anymore.
There's not much we can say because he got battered the last time. Look, fair enough.
I never cashed out any of my bets, so I still have him.
I still have him. He's in multiple as well.
I have him in multiples. I have him in bigger prices, and I think there's 2 horses in the champion hurdle now, the 2 mares, and then the only one that you just don't know what you're going to get is Goshen. And you know what? If he came out and battered everything, it wouldn't surprise me. But if we don't see him until next year or 2 years' time, it wouldn't surprise me either. So,
in fairness, he was meant to run the contenders hurdle of Sandown the weekend, but that was changed in all Chase cars. So, don't know when we're going to see him. So we don't know. If he runs again for Cheltenham, he needs to absolutely batter the field.
Yeah.
Next, Album Photo Gold Cup speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, I know loads of people are putting the short ones into multiples like Shishkin and Shakan and all that. I have Album Photo in my multiples because I've just gone through it so many times this year and last year and the year before. The year before, fair enough, he was a big price, but he's just one of the most solid bets of the whole week.
And this year, it looks even more solid than last year.
Yeah.
There's just nothing happening behind him. All the horses he's beaten are going backwards of that. And the Novices coming through, bar Plutar, who probably needs to show it again.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, people are searching for something to beat him, and that's the way racing goes. Like I do with the short price horses, but like
sometimes the obvious thing is to go with the obvious.
If in November and December you would have never thought, oh, I'll back Al Plutar to beat Album Photo, and he won the race at Leopardstown, and people are hanging on that. Album Photo is like streets ahead of these horses at 3 miles.
Yeah, I think the price is still ridiculous. What is he, 7-2 still you can get in the place?
He realistically should be 6-4.
Yeah. Right. Mayor's Novice Hurdle, Sky Ace, 16-1.
Yeah, this is, to be honest, one of my favourite bets. And I was hoping on Monday for a bit of a surprise result, and Royal Kahala and Goliath, not either one of those not winning. Rosie's Hollow came out and beat them. She looks a good filly, but I'm well happy with this Sky Ace. I think she's still about 20-1. It's 16-1 non-runner, no bet. It's because who she's trained by. It's because we haven't seen her. You know, she's come out and won 2 races at prices you wouldn't believe, because she's just overlooked, and she'll be overlooked even on the day. You'll still probably get 16 or 18-1.
What people need to remember with her, she was trained by Willie Mullins at one stage, and they taught a lot of her as well.
Yeah, and she lost her way a bit. Changed the stable, 2 wins in a row, put away for Cheltenham on the back of that. Like, that was the plan. Win those 2 races and go straight to Cheltenham. She's
very interesting at a price. Second last one, Anagamene. We can never not say it like that. 5-1, 6-1. Sorry, you put him up for the Champion Chase. Now in as short as 9-4 in a place, 11-4. You can still get. Looking good right now.
Yeah, I just think he's class. And it's not that I don't like Shishkin. Shishkin's class as well. It'll be an unbelievable race. But at the time I put him up, I was fully confident he'd win over the weekend, and his price would then contract, which is what happened. So I got like 6-1, 13-2, where he's 2-1 now. So it just made sense at the time. Yeah,
it's one we're looking forward to. I'm on it as well. Last one. Good old Tigey Roll. 5-1 cross country chase.
Yeah, it's probably a bit more heart over head on this one, but I don't like Easy's Land. I don't mind saying it.
Really?
I think he's heavy ground dependent, and the jockey just worries the life out of me. So, look, if Tiger Roll turns up, it might be sentimental, but I'll back Tiger Roll.
Yeah, you wouldn't begrudge him at all.
He's probably not, like his price is probably not going to change all that much. It's 5-1. If Easy Land shows up, he'll be going off favourite. So,
but the thing is, his form at the Cheltenham Festival is ridiculous. So it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world that Tiger Roll comes back and goes off and beats Easy Land.
Look, sometimes the legends come back,
especially on a bit of better ground. He's a much better horse on decent ground. And
I've seen it so many times to just not write it off. More so at other tracks, but like we've seen it with Sprinter, and then so many times at the Punchestown Festival, you thought horses were done and they won. Undersow done it a couple of times, and like he won. I know there's other people that follow Undersow, like Kubo loves him, but like they do come back. Some horses just put in crazy performances out of nowhere.
Like there's a few horses that stand out to me that always performed at the festival, just done nothing all season. Like Buena Vista, he always turned up at the festival. Alberta's Run, Midnight Glory. There's a load that just turn up at Cheltenham and do nothing anywhere else. Look, it's probably they're trained for the day, but It's got to be. I've always said it. Cheltenham Festival form is a big factor into when you're picking horses at the festival. It doesn't matter if they've done nothing all season. It's this day they're trained for, and they will turn up. So I would hold great hopes that Tiger will come back. Right, we'll move on to mine. You can tell me if I'm talking absolute shite, which I probably on half of them, but we'll go. You want to N'Golo 50-1 Supreme Novice Hurdle. Not a hope in hell. I've more chance of winning it than he does. Next. Altior 8-1 for the Champion Chase.
I still think he'll be second. So
so do I. I was more confident that he'll give Shakan a race until Shakan's put these runs together now. So Shakan, look, people are going on, oh, Shakan doesn't have form around Cheltenham. Oh, how will he act? I don't buy into this shite. Horses act in other courses. Like there's nothing special about Cheltenham. Like it's not like a specialist course. It just because it's undulating, and it's not like bloody down Patrick, which is just crazy.
I think Shakan will win, and I said I'll try to find a way to say he wouldn't win all year, but the performance on the weekend was just magic. So, but I do think Altior will be second.
So do I. My best one by far, Monkfish 12-1 for the RSA Chase.
It looks an unbelievable bet now, if you're fair.
I can rant on all day about how much I love this big grey. Have you grey horse in my head now with you? Big chestnut looking lovely bastard.
Look, and I think over the summer and after last year, you're in the camp of either Monkfish or latest exhibition, but sometimes you have to know when to leave it go, and you're beaten fair and square, and Monkfish is the better horse.
As of now, he looks unbeatable in the RSA. He's right, or bloody latest exhibition looks by far the second best in England and Ireland. And I think it's just, if the two of them turn up there, it'll be 1-2 again.
In my opinion, of the three standout novices, so Shishkin, Envoy Allen, and Monkfish, he would be, if I had to pick a bet to do and have a significant amount of money on that, so I'd be confident, he's the one I'd do. Envoy Allen is obviously class, no doubt about it, but he hasn't beaten everything that's going to have a chance to beat him. And Shishkin has a legitimate contender in Nergamene. So, yeah, to me, Monkfish is the cert, if you will.
Why?
Why is he?
Why did you have to say it?
Because
you should put the mockers on. Sound for that.
I did that though.
Oh, that's true. You done the sorry thing. Yeah. I'm Joey. My next one is Royal Pagay 16-1 for the National Hunt Chase. Oh, I'm afraid he's not going to turn up here at all.
I still think he'll go to the Gold Cup, to be honest.
So do I. I'm convinced he's going to go to the Gold Cup, and I'm on him at 16s for the National Hunt Chase. I just think the way everything has fallen, it's just Gold Cup. Go for it. The runs over 13 runs over fences. He's a third season Novice Chaser, or owned by Rich Ritchie, who was Monkfish for next year. He doesn't really have anything for this year.
Why not give it a go? You know what I mean?
Look, it's been done before with Coneygree, who you loved that year first, and you put him up first. So it's doable,
Yeah.
Next is Captain Guinness for the Arkle. He needs to stay in his feet to have any chance of getting near him. But look, his jumping has been suspect. His form is... I thought it'd be a lot better over fences, if I'm honest. I thought he would have been one of the ones to put up to Shishkin. Look, it could turn around at Cheltenham. He could turn himself inside out, but I'm clutching the straws now. But look, I'm clutching that straws at 25-1, so...
He's been disappointing, but it's big prices. So if he does turn up in the Arkle, it wouldn't surprise me if he comes third or fourth. So
yeah, I haven't backed each way as well, so I'm all right. I'm happy with that enough. Next one, Allaho 10-1 for a Ryanair Chase. Look, it's no secret, I love this fella. Look, the only way he's going to win is he goes out in front and he just gallops and gallops and gallops.
Allaho is your tiger though, because it's heart over head.
But this is the only time, and I said it to you in Punchestown when he got beat in the 3 mile hurdle again. I said, this fella is not a 3 miler. He needs 2.5 miles, and this is the first time in the championship race he's run over 2.5 miles. I'm convinced
everybody that watches the podcast, right? I said last week about sometimes you need to listen to me about Gaillard and Menil. Sometimes you don't need to listen to your friends, and you had me back in this joke for a year and a half, and I gave up last year. I had enough of it.
I'm still there.
And I thought Ellie May was going to beat him today in Thurles, and I knew if he was beaten that day, you were done. But instead they're giving you false hope.
The bandwagon is in full flow. The petrol is up again. We're on the way to Cheltenham. Next one, Somneck 25-1 for the cross country chase. I like this one.
I actually love that bet.
I think it's a lot improved. He's only having 2 runs over. Well, he's had the 2 runs in cross country chase. He was third at Punchestown, and then he won at Cheltenham. Like, yeah, he's a lot to find with Tiger Owl and Easy's Land, but he's going to improve again. They always improve for the more runs they have over it, and he looked like he really enjoyed it around there. And let's not forget, he was a very good horse for Willie Mullins, so there's a bit of class behind him.
He was.
So I like that. I love me cross country races. So I'm happy with that 25-1. There's going to be a lot worse horses running than that, who are probably better than him over conventional fences, but just don't take those. Next is on the blind side, 12-1 for the Bertemps. I think his mark has gone up way too much after winning this couple of races. I'm not even sure if he got into it. If he does look top weights in these handicaps at Cheltenham, the handicaps are condensed. There's not much between first top weight and bottom weight. So look, he's unreal. He's good form around Cheltenham. He's won over there this season already. He's getting his career back on track after coming back over fences. I think he'd run a huge race if he runs it. It reminds me of Get Me Out of Here.
He's a good horse.
Next is one we're going to have arguments about from now up till the bloody Ballymore kicks off. Bob Ollinger 10-1 for the Ballymore. It's Bob versus Gaillard. Okay, you think of Gaillard of what I think of Bob.
Yeah.
It's just that's what race is all about. And it'd be how boring would it be if me and you were just, oh yeah, Gaillard, yeah, oh yeah, 2 of us like Bob.
That's perfectly okay, because that's the way racing should be. It's all about opinions.
And I can't wait till he wins and I say, I told you so. Or you should never leave it down if this fella wins.
I will be shocked if one of the 2 of them doesn't win and Brave Man's Game beats him.
Brave Man's Game, I think he'll set it up for the 2 of them to fight it out. Brings me on to the champion hurling, Aspire Towers 16-1. I was happy with this until Saturday. I
don't know why you wouldn't be happy with it, because he's beaten Abracadabras like twice this year, and he's the only one that gave Honeysuckle any sort of a race. So he's 2 or 3 lengths ahead of Abracadabras, probably. He runs to that level, he's going to be close enough to Honeysuckle. So
yeah, it's of a win perspective. Like, I love Honeysuckle. She's probably one of my favorite horses ever. I can't see anything beating her, and I'd be shocked if Aspire Tower gets within 5 lengths of her, because he can't give her £7.
No, he can't.
But I can see him picking up a place, though.
I don't know what way the weights work, because he's only a
5-year-old.
So he'd be getting a bit of weight as well.
Yeah, he'd probably only have to give her 5, I'd say. I don't know what way it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, put it down in the comments, because I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I'd be surprised if he's not in the first 4.
Yeah, he's probably one of the few horses that's a lot of improvements still left him. He's only a 5-year-old, like. So
he's a more solid option than a lot of the other horses in it.
Yeah, it's true. My second last one absolutely felt the pot the weekend. Umdor 18-1 for the Triumph Hurl. He ran no sort of race whatsoever. I knew coming into the back straight, Paul was squeezing away and there was nothing happening.
Strange one, because he looked like a very good horse up until that, so it's weird.
He could be rerouted to the Boodles now, I'd say.
It's hard to know.
Look, you probably, I don't know, was he remembering this fall? Was he wasn't really having to cut at his hurdles? I don't know. Was the ground too bad? Look, I could throw out as many excuses as you want, but it was just shit. There's no two ways about it. There's no excuse.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't
just
great.
shit. He was beaten out of sight, really. Right, last one, which I really, really hope will happen because I'm convinced if he turns up, he wins latest exhibition 6-1 for the National Hunt Chase. Look, we touched about it already. Paul Nolan's talking about going to the Powers Gold Cup at Fairyhouse, which is, look, when we talked about it in the last video. Or did we talk about this video? So many videos, I don't know which one we talked about. The last one?
I think it was the last one, yeah.
Weekend preview. Myself and Dave touched on it. It was the weekend preview. That Paul Nolan was talking about running him in the Powers Gold Cup and skipping Cheltenham altogether. As Dave made a point, it was that if Monkfish wasn't around. It's been a long day.
Oh, Munchkin and fish sticks.
Fish pond. If Monkfish wasn't around, he'd be an Albert Bartlett winner. He'd be unbeaten over fence. Well, he won't be unbeaten over fences. He was beat by pens full of lead, but he'd be a Grade 1 winner. And when you look at it that way, it kind of does show you why Paul Nolan is kind of down in the dumps over it all. And do you want to go to Cheltenham and face Monkfish in the RSA when you know you're safely held twice? Not really. And and then as Dave made out a point as well was, I don't know if it was me or you who made it, that he probably has in the back of the mind what happened to Disco Rama as well when he was beat by LeBroy. So he probably has a bad experience with that. So look, I know the race is shorter the last 2 years than it has been. So look, I think if he turns up, he wins, but he is not looking likely at this stage.
It's just, I'm going to get the winners of the race.
Stats O'Keefe doing what Stats O'Keefe does.
Because I can't find it now.
I'll try again.
The National Hunt Chase.
National Hunt Chase. Thought you put in the 4-miler, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Right, so I totally get why people think he'd win it, and I think he'd have a great chance. I'm not sure he'd definitely stay. The fact that it's not 4 miles anymore probably helps. But it sounds a bit silly, but I think he's too classy to win it. There's been so many classy horses went to that race and were beaten by plotters and just real tough as old boots horses. And you can look through the winners of it. Ravenhill last year, LeBroy, Radvinden, Tiger Roll, Manila Rocco, Cause of Causes. A lot of those, Midnight Prayer before that, they're not real superstar Grade 1 horses. And some of the horses that were beaten it end up coming out and being that level, like Native River. But I don't know, I honestly think he's too classy for it. I think, and you mentioned as well that it tends to bottom out horses. If he was mine, I'd go for the race of Fairyhouse and try and win another Grade 1 over fences this year. Then look, it is what it is. Go to Punchestown. If he loses to Monkfish again, so be it. And then come back next year and maybe plot a route around going to the Gold Cup, but not facing Monkfish along the way. If that means traveling to England and taking in races over there, then so be it.
Now, before people lose their shit and say, "Oh, Tiger Roll," you can't say Tiger Roll's not good. Tiger Roll is not a Grade 1 horse.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He won the Triumph Hurdle, but it's handicaps and stuff he's winning. Yeah. Then
a point on that. Just imagine putting Tiger Roll into Gold Cup. Where would Tiger Roll finish? Just more or less, he'd be lucky to be placed.
There's other horses in the list as well, like T for 3. He's not a Grade 1 horse.
No.
Chicago Grey was not a Grade 1 horse. Poker the Civil, there's another one. Tricky Trickster. When you look back and think back of superstar horses, you don't think of those names so.
I think if Poker does the Vola and Chicago Grey said back to both of them. Go to Katie Walsh and Derek O'Connor.
So did I. I backed both of them.
I think I had a forecast. Nina was second on White Silks with the blue sash, brown cap. Oh, what's his name?
Because I couldn't see.
Because I couldn't see. Hence the glasses.
Yeah.
Good times. I love the race though. It's a good race.
Yeah, it's a great race. Yeah.
Right. So it's the last Cheltenham Festival ante-post video until the handicaps.
Yeah.
Which we will do once the handicaps are out. Right, Dave. Best ante-post bet you are happy with, and the worst one before we go.
Oh, the worst one by a mile is the Harbour Star. And the best one, album photo.
Yeah, remember that. My worst one by a country mile is Ngolo for the Supreme. And my best one by a country mile is Monkfish attends for the RSA Chase, which is now the Brown Advisory Chase, I believe.
I hate giving you props, but I think that's the best bet of all three of us.
Why'd you hate giving me props? What's
I
that?
just do. I want to win. I want to win.
I'm the same. All your best are shit.
To get that at 12-1 was a stroke of genius.
Thanks. It's not often I do things that are smart, but anyway.
All he needs to do is win now. It won't be a stroke of genius if he loses.
Stop. Well, Tom will say I got value though.
Yeah, well, that's true as well.
You know what I'll be doing? I'll be looking at my Paddy Power account. Value looks like 0.00. It's not value.
The value is not going to pay for me bets tomorrow, Tom.
No. Oh, I'll be some ball depression now if he doesn't win. It'd be like under so all over again.
He will win.
Yeah. Right. So that's us done. As always, comment below with your best. Georgia, comment below with your best selection and your worst selection that you have so far. Look, don't be saying that you're after getting stupid horses at stupid prices. Be honest about it. We're honest about it. There's no one going to judge that. Like, everyone does shit bets and good bets.
That's the joys of the ante-post betting.
Yes.
You see an angle and try to get a price for it, but like a lot of the times it don't work out.
95% of the time we're all just talking shite. 5% of the time we get the odd one.
I actually forgot Make Good. I had Make Good for any race as well.
Oh yeah, poor Make Good. That's John McConnell's.
That's a prime example because it was like he won the race at Cheltenham, looked like a chance in the Bartlett, and then he got injured. So that's the way it goes.
Princess Zoe, Mare's Hurdle, ridiculous prices. Mother of God, Tony Mullins, what are you doing to me?
She would pick up all the mares and carry him over the line. She's that much better than him.
Imagine now if all of a sudden, breaking news 2 weeks before Cheltenham, Tony Mullins supplements. I'd nearly give him the money. She's
too valuable now, right?
Yeah. On to the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Oh, flat racing. Well. Right. So anyway, that's us done. Lads, thanks for watching again. Just like, subscribe. We are back on Sunday, all going well, that we've racing to review. If not, we'll come up with something to do on Sunday. Might do a quiz or something. But we'll see. Keep an eye on my socials and the finish lines, social media, and if there's no racing, I'll have up there what we're going to do. So again, lads, thanks for watching. Give us like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. My mouth words aren't working. Like and subscribe. And keep commenting below with your best and worst ante-post selections for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival. And we'll see you again on